Thank God it's Friday. Well, what you're just about to watch, it may confuse you a little bit because I looked a little younger. Yes, because I'm just about to share Thank God it's Friday 2024. This is a series that every Friday shows you the activities here at Salento with Love, or probably the run around that I take place in my life on a weekly basis with many beautiful things happening. But this is 2024, remember. So whenever you are leaving a comment, remember that we are back in 2024. If you'd like to subscribe to the 2025, well then do that by subscribing to the Thank God it's Friday 2025. And also, when you're visiting Puglia, come stop here by the office and one of these fabulous books will be waiting for you together with a lot of other things. So enjoy Thank God it's Friday 2024, become a subscriber of Thank God it's Friday 2025 and have a fantastic weekend. Then what do you do at the weekend? Well, one of my hobbies is to work wood and create perhaps elements that can become part of a building or something that just has longevity. I find olive wood, not just because it is from this area, but I just love the smell, love the texture. But yeah, that's what I do. I come here in the countryside. Actually, this is a house where I grew up, which is now really left because my parents are very old, and so I just use it. I've got my little workshop and I just play. That's what I do. I wonder what's going to come out of this. You're going to see it. Some places I love to leave a little bit of an element of the bark once it gets sealed, not too much. La telecamera. Abbiamo finito. Veloci.
No, non si deve pregare assai.
Asciugare.
Va bene. Ma ti saluto.
Ciao papà.
Non ti saltare troppo. Quando ti manca letti, ti manca un po' di tempo.
It's just my dad that came to lock the chicken, and it's just say, don't get tired because you don't need anything, just go and rest. But yeah, I guess this is my rest. I think I've done for today. I worked on this piece of wood more or less all day, finished the top, done the edges, left the pieces with the bark or with the bark exposed, filled the few little tiny little lines, cracks, because this is a live wood, and now we just let it dry, and then tomorrow being Sunday I can just sand it down, ready to be oiled, and then for the next life. Sunday morning, beautiful sunshine actually, but it is cold. So when I finished yesterday, it's one of the last things I sealed some of the little fine air lines and, well, beautiful cracks that olive wood has. And then this morning I'm just giving it one last bit of sanding, ready to be oiled. And I've got my assistant with me, Mr. Spongy. Yay! So we'll be working together today. It's Monday morning, so much happening out there. So time to start my day, start my week after a very productive and beautiful weekend as well. I must say, Always beautiful to step outside. Right, let's go. In Casarano now, actually. We're working on this property, refurbishing an entire bathroom, but it's very interesting here because the original water feed that was coming was probably ancient, totally rusted when we started. So we have actually brought the feed of the bathroom right from the mains. So if you are refurbishing, always very, very important. If you're doing a bathroom or a kitchen, forget about the old pipe works coming into the house, because if it is metal and it's old, it's rusting. So you spend thousands of euros redoing a beautiful bathroom, a beautiful kitchen, and then you're still going to have some rusty pipes running through the walls or under the floor. Posso entrare? Mi aprite? There we are. Ciao Alberto.
Ciao.
Maestro. See, I think when you're doing a bathroom, you think, oh, it's simple. Well, first of all, here I had to strip everything down. And also there was a recess there, so we've straightened that by building a little wall. Also, that window there is out of line. So we're just building a suspended ceiling and then changing by putting a big stone slab there, lowering the window there, and then lowering it down, and then having a motorized window. But look at this intrinsic work. So the tiles are small, 15 by 15 centimeters, and you just need to make sure that this pattern is followed. Anyway, so many things, and it's important to check on things just to make sure that everything is followed. Tuesday morning early, fantastic way of starting my day, just go around and see. But Grotto Gasper obviously is my first stop because things are almost coming to an end and quite magical, so let's walk in. Buongiorno. Aha. I'm not the only one filming this morning. Just coming through, well, my weekend work has paid off. So like today as well, trying to get the gas company to connect the gas to one of the properties that we just finished refurbishment, and where they told us that the process would take 3 to 4 weeks, and we started 12 weeks ago. We're still filling forms and sending forms, so just rushing back to the office now. The forms have been filled and signed again. Buongiorno. Buongiorno, buongiorno. Elena? Elena, c'ho le cose firmate.
Ok.
Gasparino.
Va bene.
Oh, e lui che ci fa qua?
Mi sta dando una mano.
Nardo, what a beautiful town. Actually, I love that mural behind me as well. But we're just working on a beautiful property here. Not an ancient one, quite modern, but very spacious, a lot of light because it's on the corner. And we're just refurbishing, putting a new kitchen with under bathrooms already last year. Let's see what's going on here. Ragazzi, buongiorno.
Buongiorno. Ciao.
Antonello, sempre gli lavori forzati di mezza mattina, eh?
Sì, quando avete che fare? Vediamo.
I più grandi, no?
No, li più forti. I love these workers. Right. Well, here actually was we put a air conditioning system. It's such a huge place, so we've gone for a system that it's embedded into the ceiling, and then you have the vents going into every single space. It's wrapped up with rooms with this corridor snaking around, so it was the best way. And now we need to box it all in, and that's what we're working on at the moment. I think that three-wheeler is speeding. Anyway, one of the best things happened today. My 1:30 appointment was cancelled, meaning that I can go back to the office, and do a lot of the work that sometimes gets left behind, which is replying to some of the emails. So, back to the office. I love to be the last one leaving the office, but I also love to know that I've actually gone through all my emails. So, time to go. Wednesday morning, always a nice way of taking the dog for a walk, starting the day. And fantastic, actually. I love Wednesdays because on a Wednesday, on a regular basis, I meet on site on a fantastic, amazing building that we're working on. So it's just also a fantastic way to see the progress. Meet Spongy, you've probably seen him before, but beautiful dog. Yeah, so let's get the day going. And I have arrived. Actually, I have to cover myself well because I may stay on this side for a few hours, so always good. Buongiorno. Coming to Lecce is always a good escape. Come to see a notary, you come to do shopping, and really such a beautiful city. I'm here to see the notary, but at the same time maybe a little aperitivo afterwards. Thursday morning, and we are really at the final stages of delivering Grotto Gasper. Incredible. In fact, I must say one of the only things we're waiting, it's the grid company with the connection of the gas meter. And apart from that, we're there. I want to share with you what's going on inside here.
Buongiorno.
Buongiorno, Davide. Another great guy, Davide, top engineer. But you've probably seen this table that has been made with an ancient door. I love this kitchen. The island in the middle is so beautiful because of the shape of the house, and that going outside this corner of skew was an incredible decision. You've got a couple of drawers there. When you do things made to measure, how this kitchen wraps around. And now just a couple of last touches, putting the AC unit there, underfloor heating, so that would only do the cold air. Can I? So you want to stay secret?
For now.
Oh, no, I can't turn the camera around then?
No.
Oh, I can't turn the camera around, but I can turn the camera around and show my sister. So I wander the street and then, and then I find my sister walking around with beautiful Salento with love people. Anyway,
Yes.
I'll let you get on with your day.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a beautiful day.
Bye, bye-bye. But yeah, it's incredible. It happens more and more actually. I bump into people, or I bump into my sister. Actually, I was away for 5 weeks, and the first time I saw my sister, because I didn't get a chance to go to the office for about 3 days, was on the street with a client. Thank God it's Friday. Unbelievable. I don't really know what happened yesterday because I don't think I filmed very much, but it was such a busy, crazy day. But right now, just starting this morning with seeing what's happening at two amazing sites, Mississippi with love. I mean, what I find amazing is that we are at the end of January. And still incredible. So let's see what's happening here. So much has been happening here at Mississippi with love, and we're slightly elevated from the ground with this particular property, so we don't really have an issue with dump rising. And really one of the most important thing here was to save the stairs, but also this beautiful patina that we have in some of the areas. And I always think it's very important to have that balance between the old and the new, otherwise you then end up turning properties into caves
And because the light is very limited in a lot of these properties, these ancient properties, it's nice to create that white fill effect, but at the same time saving as much as possible. With that in mind, really, what we have created, it's the walls are actually covered in sheetrock. So the metal frame gets fitted around the wall to create a cavity, which is very good for the circulations of air behind, but also that allows you to have a straight wall, totally white. And obviously, once you have all your cuttings for plumbing and electrics, even if you try to save some of that patina, they will have like stitches. So this is a nice way, and in that way, then it's a good compromise. You're still left with a fantastic features which is surrounded with. And this also gives you a little bit of a ledge at the top. In this particular case, we'll put an LED strip on that side and an LED strip on the other side, which ultimately, when you step in, it will give you really that light that you need to enjoy the elements, like this stone wall, which is going to be exposed, and also the patina of the ceiling. As we're stepping into this room, well, you can see sometimes the amount of work to do what is been done here on this particular project, it's much more than doing anything else. Also, if you go down the route of plastering to bring a wall straight, the amount of rubble that you need to produce, and also the strength that you take off the walls, because never underestimate that when you hack something off and you take it off, even if you put it on, you are actually removing something that has been there for hundreds of years. So in this particular case, we're working around, and the finished product will be a very smooth, beautiful wall with features that stand out, like the ancient little doors there with the little cupboards, and the amazing ceiling with this patina, where everything else, or the elements of stone that we are actually leaving around. So you are going to be almost framing some of those elements that are very important in achieving an incredible finish. Bouncing off, so from Galatina now, I'm in the beautiful town of Nardo. Just going to meet Henk, one of my clients, who's bought a little investment property in the heart of the city. Being on the ground floor, always a little issues with these ancient properties made out of stone. You may have a little bit of a rising dump situation. So just going to see and give him some suggestions on how to deal with it. So, beautiful sunny day. Probably recognize the office. Friday, you've got to drop in. Hello? Perché c'hai freddo? Fa un caldo qua dentro. At least my desk is free, so I can step on it and do some work. Well, after watching this, yes, I can honestly say thank God it's Friday, but we still have Saturday and Sunday to look forward to. But so many things happening. The blue sky of this week was absolutely incredible. But also getting that olive wood to become something else and to give a second life to that piece of wood is fantastic. There's so many things happened this week. You probably have seen your property being featured, from a bathroom that is getting refurbished and other things that have been happening. Well, like I said, every week has their own challenges, and hopefully I can switch that camera a little bit more often and share with you more and more as time goes by. Until then, thank you very much for being part of this group and supporting their channel, and thank God it's Friday.
I was that. Yeah, I looked younger. Different hairstyle as well. Subscribe to 2025 and I'll see you every week on a Friday. Stay safe wherever you are.